everyone to Krystal Tini TV. I am doing an emergency broadcast for a dog rescue center. It's called Philly Rescue Angels. I know these people personally. These women have put themselves in some really, really terrifying situations going to rescue these animals. They've traveled across state lines to get dogs. They are doing tremendous work that I don't know that I'd be able to do, because I would be heartbroken every single day. And I know that they often cry themselves to sleep from the situations that they see and just encounter almost on a daily basis. So welcome, Angel and Taylor, to Krystal Tini TV.
There you are.
Angel, I'm so glad you're doing this.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. How is he, Angel?
He's looking at you.
Hi. Is that Nico or Nico?
Yeah.
Hi, cuties. I love it. You know, I know that you guys are like flooded with bills. I can't even believe half the things that you guys do, like, and your hearts are still in one piece. That would be a fucking disaster every day.
It really is. Sometimes it's like really so stressful to like watch these animals like literally just deplete in front of you. It's like, and then you try to do everything you can, and some of them you can't save, you know? So,
Right. And then I see, like, I look on your Facebook account and then there's always insane people that are commenting like, why aren't you doing this and that? And it's like, if you knew
So
our real life and what we go through, you know.
It really, yeah. And some people just don't understand, like, you know, the one case that we just had, Champ, like when we were trying to find a foster, and like they just think because like all these people applied to foster, it's like, you know, they're gonna like, it's, we can save them, but like, we can't put a dog in a home that, you know, where he'll decline. Like if you don't have a yard and he's leash reactive, how are you going to take him on a walk when that's his problem? So he needs a yard for now until we can get him with a trainer. So like people who didn't have a yard, who were applying and not, you know, it kind of, we get the backlash that like, you know, oh, well, you don't want to save them. You're not going through applications and you're not doing this. And it's like, no, we just we put him in a home.
We're not allowed to. We're animal killers.
Yeah.
It's got to be so frustrating with that.
Yeah.
So let's just start, like, either of you, you know, what is Philly Rescue Angels? When did you start it? How did you come up with it?
So Philly Rescue Angels is a nonprofit organization. We've always been rescuing. I've known Taylor forever, but we made it official last February. Decided to make it official because so many people were reaching out to us and we wanted to help. So we were like, let's just do it.
That's beyond brave of you guys. And I know that you've been in some really hard situations and had to go into even dangerous situations to go and get these animals. And there's so many people that will be the first ones to call you, but the last ones to help. And so you guys putting yourself in really dangerous situations says a lot about who you are and how much love and compassion you have for animals. And your bills. I mean, I see you guys put thousands of dollars, just like a weekly basis. You're like, we owe 10,000, 20,000. And, you know, I don't know how you guys like sleep at night with all this stuff going on. And it's just such a stressful situation.
Yeah. It's honestly so stressful. Like there's some times where I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like I'm like so overwhelmed and so stressed that I'm like, we got to figure something out. Especially me and Taylor. We're like, we text each other and we're like, what are we going to do? Like,
I know. I gotta say, like, we always get it done. So like, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the people who support us, because I feel like somehow, some way, we always come up with the 10 grand or the 20 grand or whatever. So like, we appreciate everyone so much, because I mean, we really wouldn't be what we are if we didn't have all these people who, you know, engage with us and everything. So it is really nice. But sometimes I know, like, one that, like, remember Zero, Angel? We had Zero who like ate a roll of trash bags and his owner basically let him sit in the kitchen or whatever, like, and just had the roll of trash bags in him for 2 weeks. And so like his intestines were like tied together with so he needed to have like half of his stomach removed, but we didn't know when we took him. So his bill was $28,000.
Oh my God.
And I remember we were just freaking out. And I was just like, oh my God, like, how are we raising 28,000? But like so many people wind up seeing the story. And like, I mean, you become very grateful when you see how many people really do support you. We came up with the money. So
It's crazy, but this is like every day you guys find new animals or have people call you. And I mean, where do you put all the dogs? Like, how do you, I just don't even like it's.
I know.
We find fosters, like that's like, I wish we had the money to open up a facility, but I mean, it's
I think
honestly hard. It's hard finding fosters. I mean, we do have amazing fosters, but you know, like everybody has their life, like in the pandemic, everybody wanted to foster because the whole world was shut down, and now everybody's back to work. And so it's more hard to find fosters than it was before. And sometimes we struggle with that. And, you know, everybody wants to foster a puppy. So like, when it comes to our adult dogs, it's a little more difficult to find the right fit for that dog.
Right. And I guess that's the most important thing. That there's people that do say, well, you have so many people that are applying and all this other stuff, but if they don't have the right qualifications, you're not just going to, especially you guys, how compassionate you are and passionate about what you do. You're not just going to put a dog in a house because it's someone that will take the dog if it's not the right circumstances. Right.
Right. Right. Like for instance, Champ, I know everybody is familiar with him. He's sorry, my dogs are moving.
No, it's perfect.
We didn't, but we tried. He was put timestamp because of his leash reactivity. We tried to find him a foster, and we couldn't. There was no one that fit the requirements of having no other pet or has a fenced in yard or that was willing to take on that responsibility. And then he was adopted out to the wrong home. The lady lied that she had a yard, and she really didn't. So she struggled, and she surrendered the dog to this woman. I don't want to say her name because she was getting a lot of backlash, but she surrendered the dog to the woman, and the woman reached out to us, and she was like, I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. Like, I have this dog, and it's so much work, and I don't have a yard for him, and you know, he has leash reactivity. And we were like, you know what, like, we'll send our trainer, all canines 215. We sent him there. He evaluated Champ. He said Champ was such a good boy, but of course he has that leash reactivity where he holds on to his leash like he's like playing tug of war. So now the woman has Champ, but now we're stuck in a predicament to where we have no foster to, you know, help Champ. And I know that Philly Bully team is also trying to help us find foster for Champ, but between the two rescues, we both can't find him a foster. So we're trying to keep him back from going back to ACT. But it's hard because.
And I think people hear leash reactivity and think it's like, okay, he's reactive on the leash. Like it's more like he's actually biting up and, like, you know, nipping, like he can nip your hand because he doesn't want to be on the leash. And he's kind of like, so it's like when you try to take him out on a walk, it's like you can't even get down the street because he's like nipping, jumping up, nipping at your hand, like whatever. And so I think that's like, people hear like, oh, it's just this small thing, but it's like, clearly the people that he went with, they can't even handle it without having a yard. So like the yard was so important because he needs to be in the yard until he can be worked with for weeks with a trainer, learning how to be okay on the leash, which he was probably never on a leash, which made him that way. And he's probably feeling like restrained, like, you know, I can't get away while you have me on this leash. So it's more biting and everything while he's on the leash, but he's not aggressive. He just doesn't like the leash. And I think people think it's just such a small problem, but it's really not. Like when you have them in your home.
I mean, you guys have dealt with like enough dogs to know like what's going to be a bigger issue than what isn't. I mean,
frustrating because we posted them and we're trying to help them, and people are like saying such negative and mean things. And like one night I was like laying in bed crying, reading the comments, like they were calling us animal killers. They were calling us you just place him like it's better than him dead. And I'm just like, no, it's not better than him dead. Like, you can't risk putting another person's dog, you know, at risk of getting bit, or a person that's inexperienced to get bit. Like, I'm not willing to risk, you know, someone's life. Like,
absolutely. Taylor, did you want to add to that?
I think that was just one other thing. Like a lot of people that had pets were like, I don't care, I'll save him, I'll keep him separated. But all you need is that one time where they don't get separated. And then if he kills your dog, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, get this dog out of my house.
Exactly.
And that is why, like, you know, when people are like, we're offering to separate the dogs and we have a separate entrance and we have this and we that. And it's like, we cannot have that liability. You cannot risk your dog getting hurt. You don't want your dog to get hurt. Like, we know you want to save the dog, we do too, but it's the same. We cannot put him with, it's just, it takes that one time for him to, or even react to any dog. Like, you know, like if he gets off the leash or anything outside and then he's kills somebody else's dog, like you can't risk these things. And I think people just don't, they just, you know, we all want to save dogs, but
Exactly, but you can't be in that situation. And a lot of these dogs, I'm sure, are really abused and everything. I know that you guys have seen horrific things. And that's one of the things I'm like, do you guys have therapists that you talk to regularly? Because the things that you guys see and witness, like, I don't know that my heart can handle it. I have a big heart, but I mean, when it comes to animals, like, I'm more compassionate towards animals than actual people. I'm sure you guys probably feel similar, but I just can't imagine being in that situation. And like the work that you guys do is so tremendous, because there are evil scum people in this world that literally just abuse animals for fun. So you guys go in there and take them out of those situations, and you want to give them to other people, but there's a lot of rehabilitation that has to go into that, I'm assuming, right?
exactly.
Yeah, and it's costly too. It's you know, like everybody wants us to save, but we can't save unless we get the funds. Like we just can't.
It's not like magic and money just falls out of the sky. It's like, here, this is for your rescue. So that's why I wanted to just interview you guys and get your story out like as much as possible, because you're doing like God's work, like rescue angels, like you guys are. Angel, that's a perfect name for you that your mother gave you, because you guys really are angels. Like I don't think I'd be able to do it. I love animals. I love them. I was tortured angel every day when Bane was in the hospital, but I couldn't imagine like having to see these situations. I just don't know how you guys do this.
No. No one another great story. Sammy, we picked up Sammy, me and Angel went and picked up Sammy from ACT. He was a little small, like Chihuahua mix. And they think that it was probably stab wounds, like someone possibly stabbed him, because they said it wasn't like consistent with getting hit by a car, but he was left on the side of the sidewalk. And for days, and like he was literally, Angel, how about it, dying in my backseat. Like we were freaking out because no hospital would take him. They kept saying, oh, we're full. We went to a hospital, they sent us back out. They were like, you know, he only has a 30% chance of living. Like, are you sure you're going to put out all this money for him? And like, I just couldn't even look at him without being like, I have to try. Like the 30% chances, like worth, you know, anything. Like I was like, I just want to try. And he was older. He was like 8 years old, and someone probably stabbed him or whatever and left him on the sidewalk. But so me and Angel finally found a hospital. 1 a.m, we were still at the hospital, and he literally made a full recovery. And it's a beautiful story that this older woman, she lost her husband, and then she lost her dog, and she's a retiring nurse. So she adopted him, and she was like, he filled my heart and he made me feel so much better. And she like took over his care, and now like they're like, the pictures are so yeah, he's like great. And I'm like, that 30% chance was worth everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was worth every second. So that's a great story.
I am tearing up like listening to this story, let alone like you guys actually witnessing this. Like I would throw myself right off the building.
We were crying. I was hysterical crying in the emergency room. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't take this. I'm like, please. Because it's just, he was just laying like lifeless in my back seat. Like I really didn't think he was going to make it. Like Angel, wasn't it like pretty, like he was like, the wounds were like, and you just have to, I was like, I don't even know what to do. 2 hospitals like turned us away, and then we had to wind up driving to Delaware County. Yeah.
And he that was another expensive bill. He cost us what, like $11,000?
11,000. Yeah, it was like $6,000 just to start the procedures.
It's overwhelming what you guys do. I mean, literally every time I see your thing, it's like, this dog needs this. These bills were this many thousands of dollars. It's like, you guys, it seems like you're underwater all the time, but you make it work somehow. And maybe it's
We
because
always
you
make
are.
it work, which is like awesome.
I know, somehow
Yeah. Oh my
somehow
God.
it just happens. I know. I mean, I hope we're never in a position where it don't work out, but
I don't think it ever will. I think that you guys are right on track with where you are. And I see like it's growing, like your rescue is growing. And
Yeah.
I also seen that you guys have been traveling. How many times have you traveled to different states to go and rescue?
Well, we're linked with Animal Aid USA, and we travel. I think it's once a month, right, Phil, that we do
every
it.
28 days we meet them in Hamilton, New
Jersey.
Jersey, and they
And we pull a lot of dogs from the shelters in the South that are at risk of being euthanized.
because in the South it's a little bit like the laws are completely different, and down there it's kind of like stray dogs are just like a thing, like they're just all over the place eating everything.
Okay.
So like, and like they really will just put down puppies or a pregnant mom, they will just put them down like for the most part. And then we pull dogs from Antigua. We have a partnership with a woman in Antigua, and those island dogs definitely
Oh my God.
they're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're very on the islands, they're just kind of roaming around and not
Pretty strict with those,
yeah,
right?
so like we don't pull like a ton how we do with Animal Aid from Georgia or from here, but when we can help, we do help them. So Antigua too, it's great. We did Alabama too. We pulled a lot of our pregnant moms came from Alabama, and that's a kill shelter. They'll just, if they don't get out, they don't get out. So that's how
horrifying. Like I don't even understand. Like I get they don't have homes for them, they can't care for them. It's like, okay, well, sorry, but you're gonna die. I just can't even think about that. And I'm sure that's what keeps you guys up at night to do this.
Just
It
rescued Moose from ACTS last week. He was going to be euthanized because of his allergies, which is crazy.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Doing so good in his foster home. There's not one bad thing about him,
Mhm.
Oh my God.
just that he has allergies.
Can you imagine? That's insane.
And I'm like, and that's where like you compare, like, a human doesn't have allergies, so you're going to put them down, or like, you get help. That's probably what kills me. I can't, it's just like, a lot of people don't see dogs and animals as like another living thing, where like I really truly look at it as like they deserve just as much as we do. We're the same, we're just a different species, you know what I mean?
Right.
They didn't ask for this life. So
Exactly.
and then there's one dog up there right now, Ace. I think he's like 8 months, and he's at risk for getting put down for just kennel stress. He's just stressed out in the kennel,
Oh my God.
but he's great. He's like, I mean, what do you expect them to be? That shelter, when you walk in there, they're just all like howling and yelling and screaming, and they just are like, take me out. And like, it's hard I mean, imagine you being behind a cage and
It's overwhelming. It really is. And they're just so full, and people, like, everyone's like, well, make it a no-kill shelter. Like there's not even a way to make the amount of animals that get in, like that get dropped off and intaked is crazy. People need to do better. Like they need to spay and neuter their pets. They need to keep their animals. It's crazy the amount of, they just surrender their dog just because they're moving, or they're,
Oh my God, it's awful.
it's awful. It's like,
How are you so detached as a human being that you could have a dog for a year, 2 years, 5 years? We're moving, they don't accept pets. Oh, I'm sorry.
it's
that makes it
frustrating.
violent.
yeah.
It's frustrating, and it's worse when like we get a message, and they're like, we're moving, and my dog's 9 years old, and we can't take him because where we're taking him doesn't accept animals, but we don't want to take him to the shelter, and we're left like, keep your dog, do anything to keep your dog, because I'm telling you, that's where a dog wants to be. It doesn't want to be with a rescue or in a home that it doesn't know, or a scary. Keep your dog. Just try.
Yeah.
That's the issue with people, is the detachment. Like that you have that much of a detachment from any kind of care and compassion that you could just literally act as though it's like, oh, my bottled water, I'm going to throw it in the trash. It's the same thing as a dog. Like, oh, sorry, we can't take it. We really want to. Like, that's insane. And I know that you guys, yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep remembering stories, but Caden truly killed me, his story. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. We're talking
I
about
know.
dogs and
I
rescuing,
know.
so what they
I
do.
have one of our rescues I kept. He's here. I'll show him in a little bit, but he's a horrible story too. It's a sin. But Caden, we rescued. He was 11 years old. They sent him with his paperwork from when he was 3 months old. So these people had him for 11 years. And
Oh my
seriously, because her son went to college, she was just like, I don't want him no more. Gave him to a shelter. The shelter sent him up to us. We had him. He lasted 1 week in our foster because he was so used to being down south. So like when he came up here and like the change of the weather, his joints and everything were like,
He was just depressed. He was so
he was
sad.
so depressed that he literally declined within a week. And he
He
I
died
mean,
of a broken heart.
like, he really did. He died of a broken heart. And it was because these people, I mean, it killed me. I mean, he got the last week or two that he was with one of our fosters. I mean, he got all the love in the world, but like he seriously couldn't even get up anymore. Like I picked him up and he was walking around. And by the time he got to the foster, like within that week or two, he couldn't even walk anymore. And it's like and the people who gave him to us literally said that like he was not like that when they had him 2 weeks prior.
Yeah,
So
it's sad. And like I understand, like I get a lot of backlash because I'm always an advocate to like that's just not an excuse for me that you're moving. I'm sorry. And people are like, oh, that's like your privilege. And it's like, no, I'm not privileged. But at the end of the day, I consider dogs family, and there's no different from me. So if would you give your kid away? No, you wouldn't. You would try to make it work. And there's just so many resources that you can make it work. Like yeah, we would help too. Like I know there's some people I can't afford it. Well, can't you afford? We'll be glad to help you pay for whatever you need dog food. We'll help you.
Right. This is why I can't understand how you guys do this, because between my anger level with families that do this and then seeing these dogs either sick or just going into these kennel places or kill shelters, like I applaud you guys more than I could ever say. And like, I want to help in any way that I possibly can. Like, I hope that one day very soon that you guys get to a place where you can open a rescue place to have all these dogs and animals, because there's plenty of vacant buildings and stuff. Like, we need to raise money to make this a reality for you guys.
If we had a place, it would be easier to rescue dogs that can't be with another dog or things like that.
If we had a facility, we would
have Chip in the facility, like
Great.
And then it's less risk of like a foster being hurt or anything happening to.
It's a liability. I mean, many fosters, like, they don't realize that like a dog is a liability, and we can't risk anyone getting hurt in the process. As much as someone wants to help, it's they have to be the right fit.
Yeah.
So what do you guys need, like, at this point? Like, what is number one? Like, how can people help you? What is your like Venmo or your Instagram so they can follow what you do, your website, any of that stuff?
So the best way to follow us is social media. We do have a website, phillyrescueangels.org. But most of the updates that we post are from Instagram. And I'm sorry,
Which one is it, Ange?
It's Bing. You can follow us on Instagram, Philly Rescue Angels, Facebook, Philly Rescue Angels INC. Our Venmo is Philly Rescue Angels, PayPal, phillyrescueangels@gmail.com. But that's the best way, is that we need donations. We honestly need like funds to be able to
pay off the bills. Yeah.
Pay the bills.
I mean, when we post our wish list, all the supplies that we need, we truly really do need it, because like as soon as we do like our every 28 days when we do our when we pick up like close to 20-30 dogs, like we really do, we run out of everything, like the food. So like even when we post those wish lists, it's like it really does help us
I'm sure.
be able
Yeah,
to save our donations for the bills rather than, you know, have to put out thousands for food and
right.
toys and treats.
Yeah.
Nalu, I'm
What kind
sorry.
of dog is Nala?
So Nalu is
Nalu.
we rescued him. He
From
was
Ash.
in he was in North Philly. They found him, but like he was probably being like beat. It's a sin. He is
Oh
a
my
cocker
God.
spaniel. Here, I'm gonna get him.
Mhm.
Come here. And he has problems, and that's why I have him.
Aw. So cute.
He's shaved right now. He just got shaved yesterday. Usually he's so fluffy.
Oh, you guys are the best. I love it.
Yeah.
And Ange, you have over there Bane, Jolie, and
Nico.
Nico.
And they're all running around on my bed right now.
Yeah.
Just tell a little bit real quick about Bane and his recovery. He's a
Bane-
miracle baby.
Yes, he is a
Oh.
miracle baby. Well, we rescued Bane from a shitty situation. Him and his 3 siblings. Oh no, 2 siblings. He's the third. And
And
his
the mom was, we had got the mom too, right?
we rescued him and his mom. They were in bad shape. They were
Oh,
covered
it
in
was
the
awful.
feces. Mom was extremely underweight. It was
There was
disgusting.
no food, no water. They were just sucking like from her, like probably for everything out of her. Like I don't even know how long. They were closed off by a gate in a basement. They couldn't even get up the steps.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it was sickening. And we rescued them, and somehow I ended up keeping Bane. But I almost lost him about, what was it, like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the gastropexy surgery, and the surgeon unfortunately didn't attack his stomach in the right place, and he got what I was protecting him from. He got blue, and his stomach twisted, and I almost lost him. So he had to spend 7 or 10 days in the hospital because he aspirated, and he had pneumonia, and he had to go on oxygen. So it was
And he's only a baby. He's just turned a year in January, right, Ange? Or February.
just turned in January. Just turned 1. Just turned 1.
And he weighs how many pounds, Ange?
Well, he was 120 pounds, but I just took him to the vet, and he's flipping my
That's
lip.
okay.
He's 110 pounds.
Wow. Did they say that was okay that he lost that weight?
Yeah, well, because I guess because he hasn't been eating that well, and he's
Right.
but he's doing a lot better. I'm
Thank
happy
God.
with here because I wouldn't imagine life without him.
I know. He's beautiful. Thank you, guys. I'm just so glad to have your time and your stories, and want to raise money for this for you guys, like, and see this really cool rescue place. I went to a rescue place in LA, and this guy, what is it? I forget what it's called. But he rescues dogs from China, from the like dog meat industry. So
I would love to do that.
a lot of the dogs had missing limbs, missing eyes. Like they literally tortured those dogs, would just like cut off their limbs and stuff. And so I went there a couple times to like go and walk dogs and everything. But it's like the work that you guys do, you are literally, like Heaven said, because most people don't have the stomach or mind to be able to handle what you guys see. And I'm just like so grateful for you guys that you're doing all this, because I really wouldn't be able to. Like I'm out there fighting for freedom and all the other shit, but this like I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm just grateful for you guys, and anything that I can do. And you guys are going to speak with Julie, and I know that she's going to have a lot of great information and insight for you. So
Yeah,
again,
that's great. We're
Yeah.
always, looking for advice because we're a new rescue, so we're always
She's
looking for.
amazing.
Yeah.
She was on Animal Planet, Discovery Channel. She was on all kind of different things. She had a pit bull rescue, and she actually just got a baby Great Dane. His name is Ajax. He's spotted with blue eyes. He's adorable. He's so cute. So she has, I think, how many dogs does she have? 5 or 6. She has like a certain amount of ducks. She has chickens. She has 3 cats, I think, and like, I don't know, like a rooster or something. They all just like walk in and out of her house. It's
That
I
is
love it. I wish I had that.
yeah. So you guys will be great with her, and she's a sweetheart. So again, just say your handle one more time so we can put that up. And yeah,
You
you're At Philly Rescue Angels, right? All your
Philly
handles?
Rescue Angels on Instagram, Philly Rescue Angels INC on Facebook, Venmo, Philly Rescue Angels, Cash App, and PayPal, Philly Rescue Angels. PayPal's Philly Rescue Angels at gmail.com.
And any amount helps. Anybody that's watching, like any amount helps.
Like $1 is like great. Like we appreciate anything. It's all very helpful to us.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, so much. I
Thank you
love you
for
both
having
for all the
us.
work you
We
do.
appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
hopefully we can raise some money. Let's do it.
I know. I hope so.
Me too.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love you guys both.
We love you too.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Bye.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah. And I don't know if you, Angel, no, you didn't talk to, well, you kind of talked to Julie a little bit. Julie's my producer, but she's done animal rescuing for 100 years. She's had over 600 dogs in her house. She's cared for every kind of pet you could think of, and she wants to do a free consultation with you guys to help you raise money and just any questions that you might have. Like she's really